What hobby do you enjoy that's cheap/free? Cooking can be a pretty cheap hobby. I mean, you have to eat anyway. Might as well enjoy the processes of making your own food. Especially considering base ingredients can be really cheap. Barring caviar or fresh vanilla bean. Scroll through Reddit trying to find new hobbies and enjoyment but not actually getting anywhere. I have tried and hate almost all of the hobbies listed here. Even masturbating? It seems to be quite popular. I make things out of willow. Any bendy stick will do. Takes weeks, but I just keep adding more sticks until it fills the space where I see the object. I started by deciding to make a nest one day out of some logs and limbs. It turned into a huge weaver's nest. Since then I've done moose, sea serpents, herons, owls, just all kinds of things. Here's a horse someone asked me to make for them. I grow my own willow now, but it was definitely a free hobby. Wow! You are very talented. Especially at such an uncommon activity. Didn't you read? He just keeps adding sticks. It must be super easy. /s. I actually have honest talks with myself through writing. You'd be amazed how much reading your own thoughts can help you. I've kept a diary for the last 10 years. I find it really helpful to try figuring out why I think a certain way about something. Basically self-analysis. I'm no psychoanalyst. But for me it sure beats having to pay the fees they charge. This alone has improved my overall state of mind dramatically. That tiny bit of self-reflection without judgment is just truly freeing. Enjoying nature. That's what me and the missus call it too. Hiking. Find parks or trails in your area and check them out. There are a lot of cool places to explore. To add to this, geocaching. People hide boxes and put the coordinates on the internet. So you go looking for them scavenger hunt style. Gets me outdoors on new hiking trails all the time I never would have considered. I tried geocaching once. I guess it really depends on your area. The caches in my area kinda sucked. GeoGuessr. The vegetation of this place looks like the one on this part of the world. There is even a sign in the language spoken over there. And when you guess, you miss by 3,000 kilometers. But that dude on YouTube misses by 10 meters. I will email politicians asking for their autograph. Since politicians work for the people, they usually oblige. I have received correspondence from my local MPs, random mayors in South Africa, to a few Norwegian prime ministers. I don't know why I do it, I guess I like getting things in the mail. Undefined. This is by far the most unique one I've read in this entire thread. Would love to hear you expand on this some more. How many have written? How many have you received back? What do your letters typically say? Don't tell the politicians, but I use a form letter and fill in the blanks to make it personal to that person. In the letter, I'll introduce myself and say I've been following your career from afar. Then I'll mention a story where the politician was involved I was very interested to see you in. Kindly ask for an autograph to include in my collection. Provide my address and thank them for their time. I'd say put of every 10, I'll get 7 to respond, and my collection's grown to about 160 people. It can take up to a year for them to respond, and it's just enough time for me to forget I wrote to them and be pleasantly surprised. Try it yourself. Maybe we can start a community. Working out. Even when stuck indoors self-isolating or whatever, there is a lot of stuff you can do without any equipment. Body weight stuff like press-ups, squats, sit-ups, etc. See also, running. You can spend an obscene amount of money on shoes and clothes, but you can also get shoes on clearance and wear a pair of old sweats to run in. Pro tip. Once you know what shoes work for you, check the internet for last year's Model I, E, Amazon, Jet, Zappos, etc. I've been wearing the same model for almost a decade now. And I never spend more than 60 or so on a pair, 120 retail. Also, if you like listening to stuff while you run but hate carrying your phone, a flip belt and some cheap Bluetooth headphones are basically essential purchases. Origami. You can buy paper for dirt cheap. And spend hours folding. Yes. And you don't need to buy paper either. I fold all kinds of candy wrappers. Mail. Old scientific poster. Wrapping paper. Wallpaper. Recently I started teaching my friends and their kids. It's an awesome way to kill 5 minutes or 5 hours. Reading books. Project Gutenberg, classics for free. I highly recommend The Star Rover by Jack London. LibriVox for classic audiobooks. Chess. Playing tabletop role-playing games with friends. It can be an expensive hobby if you want it to be. But it can be totally free too. All you need are a couple of friends, a rule set, and a pencil and paper. Dice are nice too, but technically you can get away with an app or just Google. What if I don't have any friends? I like to build blanket forts and stuff. Yeah, I know I've kinda outgrown it, but I still think it's fun. Pouring river water in my socks. It's quick. It's easy and it's free. But why would I do it? Cross stitch. Basically pixel art on fabric. You can get a ton of patterns online for free or just a few bucks. And the thread/fabric for a first project usually runs 5 to 10 and will keep you busy several hours. You can buy a beginner kit at any hobby store. It's what I do to unwind every night, and I've had some beautiful results, if I may say so. Embroidery too. It's a small curve once someone first tries to get into it. But after reaching that point, it's amazing. I know it seems like a really feminine hobby. Keep in mind I embroidered Carpe Diem on the ass of a pair of pants for my D&D friend. I've also embroidered patches for denim jackets. Procrastination. Ouch. Why you gotta get so personal? There could be a slight possibility that we may, in fact, be in a video game. And that making the right sequence of steps, jumps, and crouches could activate cheats. For the past 6 weeks, I've been determined to figure these codes out, but so far I've only activated a sprained ankle and diarrhea. At the very least, it's exercise. Diarrhea. Exercise. How? Too much exercise can cause diarrhea. I thought that 2020 jumps followed by 2020 steps followed by 2020 crouches might be the cheat code. I got through the 2020 jumps and the 2020 steps. But I only made it through 58 crouches before I shat all over my suede espadrilles, which was a shame because they were a Christmas gift from my mother, and also the local family daycare is exactly 20 steps away from my house. Baking. Most baking ingredients are cheap and you can end up saving money on not buying baked goods. Came here to say this. I bake all the bread for my household. Which impresses some people terribly. And I'm always a little embarrassed because dude, it's truly so little work. Just needs a little attention. And it's true, it can be very tricky to schedule if you're not home all day like I am. But well, I am. Easy peasy. Much better bread for a fraction of the price. Is it still cheap even compared to bargain basement like 0.80 Walmart bread or to some decent bread? Walking. I love walking. I live in an older neighborhood. So I see a variety of architectural styles of houses. And you can see the different lot and property sizes. Seeing people's landscaping choices. And really enjoying the changing of the seasons and how the length of day changes, etc. Reading. Books are generally cheap, and nowadays you can even find lots of classics online for free. I get a lot at thrift stores for as little as 0.10 sometimes. Gotta love it. Making environments for pen and paper games. You can start out very cheap just using what you have. Do you have an example? I'm intrigued. Check this dude out. Drawing. This. Yeah. Art supplies can be crazy expensive, but all you need to start is paper and something to draw with. Can be the backside of junk mail and a pencil. Hell. I used a burnt end of a stick and a brown paper bag once when bored while camping. Online tutorials can teach you pretty much everything you want to know. 2. Hiking. Everyone talks about the best gear and map reading skills, but in reality, to get started, all you need to do is get yourself a semi-decent pair of boots/trail runners and head outside. If you're a beginner, stick to popular trails. Then you can slowly build up map reading skills and slowly get gear if you want to.